All right, you guys. So we did distributing a little while ago, and I tell you guys in math there are opposites in everything, right? So if we can do something, we can undo it by doing its opposite. Well, factoring is actually the opposite of distributing, and so I want to go through this and kind of show you how to distribute and then how to undo distributing, which would be through factoring. So we talked about distributing last time, and so I hope you guys know how to do this. We take it and we times 2 times 3x, which would give us 6x, and then 2 times a positive 4, which would give us a positive 8. So that is how we would distribute this 2 through. Now, factoring is when we're actually finding what's common and we pull it out of there. So if we were to undo this step, we would factor a 2 out. We would say, okay, in 6 and 8, my greatest common factor is 2. So if I pulled a 2 out of it, what times 2 gives me 6x? Well, 3x times 2 gives me 6x. Now, what times 2 gives me a positive 8? Well, a positive 4 does. So what you do is you pull it out of there. So I want to show you one starting here and then just moving it to the factoring, okay? So if I have something like 10x plus 15, I would say, okay, I know I'm working with 10 and 15. My greatest common factor is 5. So I would want to pull 5 out. I am factoring a 5 out of there. So if I factor a 5 out, 5 times what is going to give me 10x? Well, 5 times 2x, when I distribute it back in there, it will give me that 10x. So now 5 times what will give me a positive 15? Well, 5 times a positive 3 will give me a positive 15. And I can check myself by actually distributing it through. So 5 times 2 is 10x, 5 times a positive 3 is plus 15. I got what I needed. I know that this is right in my factoring, okay? I also want to show you one where we factor out a variable because I think they're kind of fun. So let's do it right here. Let's say 15x squared plus 30x. Now, realize what this is saying is it's actually x times x, right? So what we have in common is 15 goes into both 15 and 30. So I know 15 is the number that I'm pulling out of there. It's my greatest common factor. And then we have 2 x's here. Oh, sorry. It wasn't quite done. We have 2 x's here and we have 1 x here. So because we have an x in common, we can pull out an x that we've factored out of it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I realized that you guys, anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Now, what we want to say is, okay, what we had left here was just 1x. We took all 15x out of it and we've factored it out front. So we still have an x here. It's also one way to check it is we can say, okay, 15x times x will give us that 15x squared again, right? And then we say, okay, 15x times what is going to give us 30x? Well, we know it's going to be 2. I don't have an x here because I've factored that x out here. So after I've factored out my 15x, I can check it by distributing it back through. So 15x times x is 15x squared, and then 15x times a positive 2 is a positive 30x. So I know I did it right because when I when I distribute it back through, I get what I originally started with. So factoring is undoing distributing, and it's a lot of fun. We're gonna have a fun time with these.